Good morning, everyone. We are from the Macao Polytechnic Institute. I'm Sherry, and this is my partner Coco, Grace, and Calvin. Today, we will analyze the current condition of fair employment agency in Hong Kong and try to put forward some strategies for it to further expand its business and exert larger influence on the industry. At the beginning of 2020, there were 400,000 foreign domestic workers in Hong Kong, and 95% of them come from Philippines and Indonesia. This special industry is an important part of Hong Kong economy because it frees the middle-class women in Hong Kong to continue their career and contributed about $12.6 billion a year. However, many problems exist in this market. Abusive behaviors towards foreign domestic workers seriously violate their human rights. For example, employers would force them to work for very long hours or even shout and beat them. And employment agencies would charge them extremely high placement fee or deliberately make an unsuitable match for them to make profits from failed contracts. Therefore, to help solve this problem, the Fair Employment Agency was founded by Scott in September 2014. It is a non-profit organization that was fair to both workers and employers. It targets to help foreign domestic workers without charging them placement fees and creates a new industry standard to help protect the human rights of the employees. It created Fair Hiring Pledge in Hong Kong to help raise people's awareness of fair hiring. And they set up Fair Training Center and Honest Jobs in Philippines to help place the Philippine workers in safe jobs. Now it has become Hong Kong's largest domestic worker employment agency, and it operates with some special attributes. It assures that foreign workers don't have placement fee debt and set a price at the middle level for employers. In addition, it serves as a non-profit organization and it has no shareholders, so it redirects all its earnings back to the company for further expansion. What's more, it cooperates with technology partners to improve digitization of its operating model, to improve operating efficiency, and it works with various stakeholders to increase public awareness of fair employment practices. However, some problems have emerged about the future of FIA. For example, what strategies should it adopt to further expand its business and increase its current employees' loyalty? How can it better differentiate its brand with other competitors to exert a larger influence on the industry? And how should it advance its information processing technology and pricing strategy to increase its revenue and reduce costs? Next, let my partner Coco and Grace to introduce our strategies to you.
Thank you, Shirley. For the overall development of FIA, we are considering to focus on expanding its business into Philippines. Such operation will have impact on some industries such as hospitality and education industries in Philippines. People in the hospitality industry have professional knowledge and are more experienced, thus may be preferred by the employers in Hong Kong. Some families may prefer to have Filipino domestic helpers to help with their children's homework. Thus, educated workers in Philippines may change their career as tutors. It will also have some impact on Hong Kong's recruiting industry and related regulations. FIA is a new benchmark in the industry and will affect the old market balance to the point that it will change industry standards. In order to rebalance the market, the government will issue new regulations and laws. We make some supplement to the responsibility of Honest Jobs and Fair Training Center. Honest Job responsible for collecting workers' information, understanding workers' ability, and allocating job for workers that meet employers' needs. Fair Training Center is responsible for providing trainings to workers according to their abilities, teaching workers the labor law and how to use it to protect their rights. Training contents include language training, skills training, and legal knowledge. Fair Training Center also provide courses for employers to understand the things that they should do and shouldn't do. For example, they should not withhold or deduct wages from the domestic worker's salary. and this is the revision of migration process for domestic workers to Hong Kong. In order to build a sense of purpose among staff, we intend to embed the purpose of establishing FIA in the minds of our employees. The aim is to assist Filipino domestic workers in upholding human rights as well as provide a better living condition for the employer's loved ones. Such can be achieved through 4 ways. The first is the pre-employment training courses, in which trainers will teach employees the founding purpose of the company before they officially start work. The second is to put up motivational posters inside the company to create a positive environment. Holding monthly meetings to collect employees' ideas and inspire them accordingly is critical to make employees satisfied at a certain level. Lastly, employees are free to choose the hours they want to work. Regarding to the promotion of FIA, we come up with 4 main ways: working with the government, online advertising, generating word of mouth, and assembling test users. For the first promotion tool, we're considering to work with the government to provide one-stop service to Filipino domestic workers, which includes training, visa application, and recruitment. It can provide certain advantages to FIA, such as gain trust from the public, since we're authorized by the official party. The service we provide is convenient for both employers and workers, which ensures information symmetry and transparency in marketplace, even though we are operating in Philippines. By using online advertising, we can largely save costs while providing an easy way to measure and target customers. We mainly focus on pop-up ads, search engine optimization, and web banner advertising. This can cover a wider range compared to traditional marketing tools. Word of mouth can also be a good way to spread FIA's positive reputation. For workers, FIA is the best agency that can protect their human rights. For employers, FIA helps them find the workers they want and monitor their money by an authoritative third party. As for the government, FIA helps solve the problem of Filipino workers. Lastly, we assemble test users to hire a certain number of trained workers from Philippines. They will work at employers' households for a short period, and employers will give their feedback on the application we developed, which we'll introduce in the next part. Based on their feedback, they can tell their satisfaction directly and collect data in our database in a more convenient way. By doing so, we can learn the competence of workers in the probation period. Next, let's invite Grace to talk about technical application development.
Thank you, Coco. Then I will introduce technical application development. In order to ensure the accuracy of information transmission, it's necessary to develop online application software fair plus for the organization. Considering the company technical limitations, outsourcing to a technology company to develop exclusive online application can effectively reduce capital investment and focus on the company's existing business. Fair plus application provides a platform to considering the companies provide a platform for employers to view detailed employee information, and it can make them liaise closely with FIA when they have any problems. Through their program, companies can receive timely feedback from customers, and employees can keep up to the data with the details of the industry. Most importantly, the application can make use of the data algorithm intelligent matching to improve the matching efficiency and accuracy. So how does the data algorithm intelligent matching work? First, outsourcing technology companies will search through a series of AI-based data sorting and matching algorithm to find a suitable data set in the database and match those that are high compatible. Each employee is matched with 3 to 5 suitable employee profiles at a time, depending on the stability between them. However, intelligent matching relies on priority matching criteria. That is, different attributes are classified according to their importance. For example, the most important things for employers are qualified, skilled, and appropriate salary level, followed by personal quality requirements, including physical health, language requirements, including the ability to have a simple conversation with the employer, and whether there is a religion conflict. But before using the intelligent matching, develop a database through information collection is essential. For employers, they can upload detailed personal information, including home address, type of home, family members, and prospective employers, through the information file function on the File Plus application. For employers, they can also upload their personal information, expected salary, skills, and physical conditions. In addition, the application can also investigate the general preference or requirements of employers in the industry through market surveys and questionnaire surveys. Detailed information can be found at training grounds in the Philippines through feedback from trainers and personal skills tests of employees, so they can train employees in relevant skills according to employers' preference. On the other hand, customers can also view the organization's tiered pricing plan through the online application. The scheme measures the type and amount of skills an employee has, and the higher these measures are, the higher the price. Tiered pricing is suitable for different class of customers with different needs. For example, employees who can only clean will paid less, but employees who can do all the housework, have special skills, and even help them children with studies are priced higher. But for the bottom 3 employees, the pricing range is still in the market average, which is more suitable for middle class family. One way to ensure that an organization is transparent is to be overseen by a third party. First of all, the employer can sign the contract through File Plus application and pay the commission, which does not include the relocation fee. After collecting the commission, the platform returns part of the commission and then transfers the remaining fee to the third party for safekeeping. The sign of contract and the fee detailed are all witnessed by the third party. File can also use the prestige of third party to promote transparency. After the employee has provided service to the client and obtained the approval, the third party will transfer the commission to the employee. Finally, let's take a look at the other feature of the platform. First, both employee and employers can browse and sign contracts on the application. They can see detailed fee clause, no harm to employee, popularization of illegal practice such as the detection of waste from employees, as well as penalty following breach of the employee. The employee's contract includes salary detailed, liability clause, job content, and so on. The platform also provides after-sales service. Employers can complain about existing employees through File Plus application and contact File. Once the relevant information is collected through the application, File can coordinate the employer and employee issues and immediately match the new employee for the employer if necessary. The questionnaire service on the application can also be used to interview the relationship between them on a regular basis. Customer feedback is also one of the factors to ensure the continued progress of the organization. The platform will set up reviews and customer certification of license. Based on customer reviews, File Plus application can profile each employee so that the employer can understand the employee's history. For trainers, they can also give employees targeted training based on this feedback. Next, my partner Kevin will introduce conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Now it's time to draw the conclusion. Firstly, we would estimate the short-term and the long-term expenses. In the short-term chart, we are going to spend most of our investment in dealing with the government, training the helpers, promotion, and the app development. When it comes to the long-term one, there are some trends, as you can see on the right. It shows that some continuous investment may increase. For example, the training fees, recruitment spend, after-sales services, and so on. On the other hand, when the relationship becomes stable and the business goes into its maturity stage, we will spend less on the negotiation, promotion, and the app development. After that, we would like to do some estimations of a domestic worker scale in Hong Kong from 2020 to 2035. In this chart, we estimate that within 15 years, the total number of domestic helpers in Hong Kong would increase from 360,000 to over 540,000. And the number of Filipino domestic helpers would increase from 180,000 to over 360,000, which is twice of it in 2020. The second chart shows that the percentage of Filipino domestic helpers to all the helpers in Hong Kong and the percentage of Filipino domestic helpers through VIA to all the Filipino helpers in Hong Kong from 2020 to 2035. We estimate that the percentage of Filipino domestic helpers would increase to nearly 60% of all the helpers in Hong Kong in 2035, and over 60% of all the Filipino helpers are through VIA to get their job in Hong Kong. In other words, our company shall win a big market share and continues to be the biggest agency in Hong Kong at that time.
Next, we will analyze the net profits of the company. Based on our analysis, we expect that the total revenue will increase by 25% every 5 years. And because of the technological upgrade, the operating costs will decrease 15% every 5 years. Besides, initially, we would invest a lot in the development of mobile app and negotiate with foreign governments. But these activities will cost much less as time went by. So you can see from the graph of net profits that the net profit declines moderately in the first 5 years, and it starts to climb up in 2025. After 2030, we believe that the company will enter the maturity stage and its profits will grow more sharply as it has already become the market leader. Finally, we summarize the key indicators of the effectiveness of our strategy and our expectations. For the human resource strategy, we measure the passing ratio of Philippine workers and survey the commitment ratio of our Hong Kong employees to see whether we achieve the goal to improve the ability of both foreign workers and local employees. For the promotion stage, we calculate the retention ratio and attraction ratio to measure customer loyalty and public awareness of our brands. We hope that we could retain current customer of 80% and attract new customers by 50%. For technical development, we calculate the success probability of contracts to see whether our matching is suitable, and we analyze the average of contracting time to measure our operating efficiency. And we expect to increase successful matching to 80% and increase operating efficiency by 50%. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, the team from Macao Polytechnic Institute, for the great presentation. Now it's time for the question and answer. We have 15 minutes. Let's hear the first question from our judges.
Hi, sorry, maybe I can start first. Hi, it's Raymond from HSBC here. I just got a few questions. There was one of the slides you talked about FEA offering a one-stop service as a new strategy. I may have got that wrong. I thought this is something we are already doing this already. Is that right? Or other people already doing this?
Thank you for your question. This is one of our plan to working with the government. We are considering to work with the government by providing the one-stop service. It is on the government side PPT. And we are considering to offer the one-stop service by providing trainings, by helping them with the visa application and by helping them finding jobs in the Hong Kong. So as right now it is not actually working. It's one of our plan, and that's all.
Okay. I just got a few more questions. Other judges, feel free to stop me when. There was another slide about online advertising. It wasn't clear to me like who you're targeting. Are you targeting employees or employers or other people or maybe other NGOs or the government?
By different online advertising tools, we're targeting different people, but the main target customer is the Filipino helpers. We want more Filipino helpers to use to be our members, and we can help them find jobs in Hong Kong.
Okay, so this is both in, I guess, both in Hong Kong and the Philippines, right? In terms of. Okay. The other question I had was like, I think one of your concluding slides, you expect technology costs to go down? So I didn't quite understand that. So
as we mentioned, we want to advance our technology and digitize our operating procedures. So we hope that after our upgrade of technology, we can, for example, we can decrease the time spent for the employer and foreigners to make a contract or something like that. So we want to decrease our contracting time and increase our operating efficiency.
And I want to make some supplement, because the graph we show is just the percentage of the technical cost. So at the beginning stage, we are spending a lot of money in developing the app and collecting data. But as the time goes by, the percentage of cost shall go down because the application is already developed, and we no longer to invest that much of money into the technical problem.
Okay. Yeah, and actually, as you can see on this chart, we estimate that the expenses we spend in the short term and the long term is changing, and some of its big investment will go down after it goes to the maturity stage, and maybe it will save a lot of costs, like the app development and some promotion part.
Okay, all right, thank you.
If I may go next and ask then. So what can you articulate what are the options, the strategic options that you considered before you finalized on, the strategy of human resource management, FEA promotion, and technical lab development? What were the alternatives, and how did you basically select your option as the best option? That's question number one. Question number two is, what are the risks and mitigating actions of your strategy? What are the risks? Even if you don't talk about the mitigation action, just tell us about the risks that you see of your strategy. That's number two. The third question is, the digital lab development cost, as Raymond was saying, just to get a sense of how big, how small, etc. Your graph shows that you will always stay in the black. The company would never make a loss. Do you see that as a realistic assumption, that when you're pouring money into the IT development part, etc., that there won't be months or years when you would turn unprofitable? So that's the third question. And fourthly, if you can just call out, apart from the app development, just a couple of things that is different to what the company is already doing. Yeah, so I asked 4 questions, if you can just answer them.
Okay.
So maybe I can first answer the third question because it is just the PPT next to this PowerPoint. So you can change. Next one. So you mentioned that we estimate that we always make a profits, but because of some reasons such as the environmental change or faces many competitors and so on, for sometimes we may have a loss. So I think that because we based on our analyze on some statistics given and some we think that from the given trends, we can see that our company is going to become larger and larger, and because we also put a lot of investments to advance our technology and also cut down our operating costs. So we believe that our revenue will grow at a constant rate, and our costs will go down. So we generalize that we will make a profits. But if we face some situations, as you mentioned, maybe we will collect the new market information, and we have many metrics to. Next page, please. And as you can see, we have many metrics to measure the effectiveness of our strategies. If the actual results is not compatible with our forecasts, maybe we will use these metrics to measure what's wrong with our strategy, and we can make some adjustments to certain strategies and try to make some remedial actions. Yes.
And I'll answer the first question and the fourth question. I'll start with the first question. The best alternative that mentioned in the human resource management is, I think, is working with the government. Is the next slide. Working with the government, because the Hong Kong government and the Philippines government is worrying about how to protect their rights and offering the best service that can provide a living condition for the employers in Hong Kong. So as now we are the market leader, we can protect the human rights of Filipino workers by not charging placement fees. And we're working with the government to ensure that we are trustworthy, and we are providing a convenient way for Philippine helpers to finding jobs in Hong Kong. So I believe that we are the best options for them right now. And what makes us unique among all the competitors is that we don't charge any placement fees, and we can also, and at the same time, we can protect the human rights of the Filipino workers. And as we protect more human rights of Filipino workers, it will improve the reputation in the industry. And that's all from my part.
Actually, we believe that this is something we call win-win situation. That's on the one hand, our company helps the Filipino government to protect their workers' human rights, and we on the other hand, we solve the workforce problem in Hong Kong. And actually, you can see on this chart, we estimate that the total number of domestic helpers are increasing, and at the same time, the Filipino domestic helpers are all increasing, and the proportion is increasing. And for it is related to the number three question. If we don't bother the price, and when our company wins a bigger and bigger market share, and the profit would be stable as the data giving the case.
And for the second question, I believe you are asking the risk of our plan. Is that right?
Yeah.
So for the risk, it is written in our conclusion part.
Sorry.
So we're using this ratio to ensure that the effectiveness of our plan, and we're going to measure the performance as a continuous process.
And we hope to use Hong Kong and Philippines as pilot plans to test its development. And if we can make good profits in those two plans and change the industry standards, we will move into other countries in the future.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you stay on this slide, right? So I just want to ask, well, firstly, thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for your time. I guess from my perspective, if I look at the three key areas that you're looking at, which is human resource promotion and technical development, the third one, technical development, will take some time, right? So you're really primarily in the initial, short-term basis. On the short-term basis, you're looking at human resource and promotion, right? Based on what you're saying, you've said, do you feel that that is enough to differentiate FEA from your competitors to allow you to A, keep your market share, and B, get the investment that you need for your technical development? What are your considerations there?
Okay, thank you for your question. For this question, it is mentioned in the article that our company, FIA, has already decide to give up all the placement fees, which is basic usually the biggest part people concerned about, and even if it is legal or illegal, they are all removed. So it is, and you may say that there are some other companies doing some illegal things that our employers and employees don't understand, and so we plan to do the like telling them to in our applications, and in the promotion part, we always telling them how can they earn the money, and same time at this time they can also protect their rights, human rights, and other rights, and we believe if we do the business and based on the ethical, and it would help us to win the market share.
And in this part, maybe I'm sorry that maybe we have some misunderstanding, because these three parts is not followed. It's just followed by the introduction of our presentation. So it actually means that we try to invest in the mobile app, and to improve our technical development. And maybe
my
we
apologies,
will try to...
I have to stop you. Time is up. Thank you very much for your job. The judges, and thank you also for your great questions. The judges will now stay in the room to deliberate. And dear team, we will place you in the waiting room, and please stay there and until we bring you back for the feedback session in 8 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.